So I like fishing. And naturally, I have an inordinate amount of fishing tackle of one description or another. And today I'm going to take a particular look in this video at some of the fishing knives I have. I have different kits for different types of fishing, obviously, and each kit has a fishing knife shoved in with it because you don't want to forget your knife in one kit when you take a different kit out. It's awkward. So I have different kits, as I say, and we're going to have a look at the three that I have bought most recently, which are my main fishing knives. And then we're going to have a look at one as a bonus that I've owned really my whole adult life. I bought it when I was 18, and that was more than a little while ago. That said, they no longer make this one, so the only way you can get one is to actually go onto something like eBay, where you might find one in an auction, and they do turn up. They're kind of expensive now if you can track one down, but they're worth having a look at anyway, because to my mind, they're kind of the gold standard. So we'll have a look and see what I got. So we're going to have a look at this one first. Now, it has a Ghidorah sheath, which I bought separately for it. I got that on Amazon, and it so happens the knife itself I bought on Amazon as well. And this one is actually a kitchen knife. It's a Sabato boning knife. It is, if we just show you the labeling on there, I think we can get that to focus. This knife has some nice flexibility, but it's still fairly stiff. But the length was selected. The longer ones are maybe a little more flexible, but this one was selected because it fits nicely and comfortably in my tackle box. And this one I use for boat fishing at sea. It's never going to have to handle anything more than gutting fish or cutting bait. It's not like it needs to do any kind of bushcrafting tasks, so a knife that was designed to handle food seemed the best option. And as a boning knife, it's really comfortable grip. This section here prevents, I don't care how much fish guts you have on your hands, you're not going to slip onto the blade, so it's very safe to use. And none of these, by the way, are expensive. I mean, you're looking price-wise between sort of 15 and 30 for all of these three knives that I'm about to show you. And it depends where you buy them. You shop around a little bit, but none of them are particularly expensive. This one, some of the Sabato knives are made in China these days. Some of them are still made in Europe. This is a European one. The quality is just slightly higher with the European one, I find. And I can't tell you how delighted I am to have it. It's just a really nice bit of kit. Try and use this as a bushcraft knife, it'll break. Don't do that. But if you use it properly for slicing with some care, and you just keep it sharp, it should really be a nice, reliable knife. The second knife I'm going to show you is from China. I bought it very inexpensively off AliExpress because, just to tell you the honest to God truth, I just like the look of it. And when I got it, I liked it so much, I actually bought a second one, which I have in a separate kit, and it's actually a cooking kit for bushcraft, but that's another story. But this one was probably the least expensive of the three, and it came in a nice quality Ghidorah sheath, has a wooden handle, multi-sectional wood, and otherwise is sort of mid-grade steel. Decent stainless steel from China, nothing special, but nothing terrible either. It's actually somewhat hollow ground, has this beautiful curve on it, comes to a really fine point, holds an exquisite edge, and the spine on this thing is about 3-4 millimeters wide. And I've tested it already on, that's a perfect 90-degree spine there. I've tested this with a ferro rod, and it throws a beautiful spark. So is this a bushcraft knife? No, not really, but it can sub in for one to a limited extent. Would I baton wood with this? Absolutely not. But would I use it for almost any other sort of general purpose? Yes. And it's probably more durable than any other fishing knife you can buy because of the way it's constructed. And so I use this for shore fishing. Apologies about the airplane. I use this for fishing on the shore, whether I'm fishing in the estuary or beach casting or into a river where I may need something a little bit more durable, especially if, for example, if I'm prying barnacles off of a rock to basically use those barnacles as bait. I want a knife that's got a little bit more body to it, so this one's ideal for that. And as I say, I've actually got a second one of these in one of my cooking kits because as a food prep tool, it's just wonderful. Dirt cheap, super strong, nice. I like it. Finally, we come to my third fishing knife that I have in this little trio, and this one is actually a folder, and it's an Opino. It's part of their Slim range, and this is an Opino Slim number 12. And the 12 basically refers to how long the blade is. It's 12 centimeters, or just shy of 5 inches. The Opino has this rotating top so you can lock it in the shut position or open it up. I will say they kind of goofed on this one because even in the fully locked position, you can just pull the tip free. So I don't know how good this one would be to have in your pocket, but as I normally keep it in a tackle box, that's not an issue for me. But they might have wanted that little notch there to go a little bit further. But Opino, if you're watching, seriously, make the notch go a tad further. You know, another millimeter would have done it. Anyways, that aside, this is actually not, there are a tiny number that are being, I gather, that are being made in China, I think. But this one's not. This one is made in France. And it has, and again, it can lock safely in the open position. Locking it open is no problem. That mechanism works just fine for that. And it has a long, slim blade, 12 centimeters long, insanely sharp, and very easy to maintain at insanely sharp. Mirror finish on this thing. It's actually really rather beautiful, and the wood they use has given it a really nice color. I will say there's nothing to stop your hand sliding forward if you get too mucky, so you do want to not necessarily have your hands full of fish slime or fish guts before using this, unless you're wearing maybe a safety glove. Safety is always something we need to take seriously, but that aside, I mean, to be fair, handling a knife of this nature on a fishing trip, something I've done since I'm a child, so it's not really hard to be safe with this. And because of the length of the handle, you can get a really nice firm grip with a lot of control, and this blade has just a ridiculous amount of flex in it. So from a chef's perspective, it ain't bad. So this is one, if you're looking for a folder for a fishing knife, this is one I would seriously recommend. And now, a little bonus. This is not the bonus, well, it is for me, but this is one of my cats come to say hello as I'm about to show you your bonus. All right, go away. I have a rarity, actually, and it's very much a collectible. You can, as I say, track these down on eBay. They're usually a few hundred pounds. You know, sort of between £200 and £300, $200 and $300, something like that, depending if you can find one. They are calibrated in either ounces and pounds or grams and kilos. What am I talking about? I'll show you. This is a Puma. This is the Puma fishing knife, made out of Puma Master steel out of Solingen, Germany. This weight on the end is this is basically for fly fishermen, and I am a fly fisherman, and this was with my fly fishing tackle. That ball on the end is very heavy, and it's used as a priest. Why is it called a priest? Because you use it to administer the last rites to your fish. So this is for trout fishing or salmon fishing. The blade is not quite as long as our Opino, because that has a longer blade, although they do make Opinos with slightly shorter ones like this. But I have to tell you, it's not as flexible, but it's, you know, it's stiff, but it is actually excellent at gutting trout. Like I say, I bought this when I'm 18. I'm 60 now. Almost every trout I've ever caught has been gut with this particular knife. So when I've done the food prep on, not quite all, but almost every trout I've caught in my life has been gut with this particular knife. Now, one of the interesting things about it is the little scale that you might be able to see. Get the camera to focus on it. Now, this one is written in German and it is measured in grams and kilos. I have seen some that were made specifically for the American market for sale online, and they were, it was in English and it was marked in ounces and pounds. But basically, you get a hook, and I would take a paper clip. I always would have this with me. You get a large paper clip, you bend it open so it forms a sort of an S shape. You hook your trout to that, and then you hook the other end of the paper clip to one of these notches back here, and depending where you put it, the weight of the fish, you try to get that to go horizontal. And once it's horizontal like that, you look at where, you know, that requires more strength to pull down, or more weight. Near the edge, it's much lighter. So basically, this is a weighing scale. By using that little hook on the fish and using it with this till you get it to the horizontal position, you can then read off the scale the approximate weight of your fish, which is really, really cool, I have to tell you. I mean, obviously, I need to do the mental calculation. Even to this day, I tend to think of fish not in terms, I mean, I know I live in England, and I know I use grams and kilos and other metric things all the time, but I still, when it comes to how much my fish weighs, I learned how to fish in the States as a child, so I still think in terms of pounds. You know, is it a 2-pound fish, is it a 1-pound fish, or whatever it is. So, and in fact, a lot of English people do that as well, by the way. So I would always have to mentally calculate, oh, this is how many kilos, so let's see, it's 2.2 pounds to the kilo, and then just do a little bit of mental arithmetic while doing the fishing. So that's always been part of my fishing experience as a result, but it does mean that I have had a nice way of weighing the fish. Use it, so it's multi-purpose. You can weigh the fish, you can gut the fish, and you can basically end its suffering quickly by administering the last rites with the priest on the end. And it's just a gorgeous piece of kit, and I know my oldest son wants this thing from me very, very much, and I told him he can have it when I die, but I'm not planning on giving it up before then. I don't know, maybe I'll find another one somewhere for sale. I might get him one so we can enjoy them at the same time, but that has become such a part of me. I just wanted to share that too, so that was your bonus. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you will click like, and if you have a comment, maybe you want to tell me about a fishing knife that you use, something of this nature, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Please share the video. And also, I will say, if you do click to subscribe, click also the bell icon so that you're notified of new videos when they're released. Now, the cat is coming by to visit. Because obviously it's nice when people get to watch him sort of right away. And if you're not subscribed, do consider it, because we do have some fun here. I'd like to think. Some of my other subscribers seem to think so, so maybe you will too. Not like I charge anything for this. Okay, well listen guys, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you again in the next one. Have a good one.